Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Got a special treat for you today. Huge shout out and thanks to today's sponsor, WORKPRO Tools, who had sent us out this drill driver kit about a month back. We did get a chance to incorporate it in our garage build. I used it to set lag bolts as well as drill holes into the studs through the drywall that we have our hose reel mounted on, as well as where my TV mount is. And I did use it for a series of drilling and screw driving into the wall to create our laundry shelf that we have over here, and I'll throw a little picture down in the corner. I was very impressed with the amount of things that I was able to achieve during that first battery charge, okay? It charges fairly quick. When I got it, I'd had about half the battery life already, charged it within 20 minutes. Once I had finally completed the restoration project, I think it was down to the last cell, was able to put this back on the charger, and within 45 minutes had it fully charged again and ready to go for the next project. Now on top here, you notice that you have two different settings. You have setting 1 and setting 2. Setting 1 is going to get you from 0 to 360 RPM, and setting number 2 is going to get you from 0 to 1300 RPM. That just depends on what kind of speed you're trying to run at. If you're using this particular cordless tool to maybe run screws in for pictures, or run screws into some small cabinetry that already has a drill hole preset, you're probably going to want to keep it around that 360 RPM. If you are using a drill bit such as this one that we have in here that was provided to us by WORKPRO with the kit, then you can go ahead and you can turn it up to the 1300 RPM. Just going to help you when you want to drill through things a little bit faster. Overall, I think it's actually a really nice drill, to be honest. I do like a lot of the characteristics and features that it has on this, to include the belt clip. Now the belt clip comes in at around 9/16 as far as the gap, which, if you think about it, is a little bit wider than the, I think it says 3/8 belt loop clip that the Rigid has. Now granted, yes, there is a huge power difference between the two, but again, we are talking homeowner use versus commercial use, right? So let's not do compare and contrast between pro use and home use, because right now we're focusing on a lot of the benefits of this DIY home use drill kit. So let's just focus on the fact that this is a great drill driver kit for about $55, which you can find on Amazon. And I'll make sure to put the affiliate link down below. Make sure to click on the affiliate link and check for any upcoming coupon codes that might be associated with today's product review. Okay, getting away from Rigid here for a minute. You'll notice that on the drill chuck itself, when you want to tighten it, okay, you can actually snug it down by hand, and you can hear those clicks putting the drill bit in place. But getting away from commercial grade again and coming back to home use, something like this Ryobi, for instance, you can still loosen and tighten it by hand, but you're not going to get those extra added clicks to snug it down. You're just going to have to hope that it's nice and snug tight, right? Okay, so between the Ryobi and the WORKPRO, I can tell you that the WORKPRO tool definitely feels a lot lighter with a higher battery. Okay, so we got an 18-volt lithium-ion battery here, or we got the 20-volt 2-amp-hour battery here. This is a 1.5-amp-hour battery. That extra added weight that Ryobi put in the battery, I think, is what's making it a little bit heavier. If I was to take the batteries off of both tools, then they're fairly close in comparison to the overall weight and feel of it. All right, so let's talk about some of the features of this tool that I like. Outside of the belt clip, I like the fast charge time on the battery. I like the overall ergonomical feel of the handle. There's a textile kind of a feel here towards where your middle finger would rest. The trigger manipulation is very easy on the hand. You don't have to over squeeze it for it to engage, where some of the other ones, there's a little bit more tension behind the trigger. This one's rapid and really quick. I like that it has two different selectable features up here for the speed, so you can vary speeds between drilling and screwing. The colors, overall, I think the colors look pretty cool. I really like the grip on the battery. It seems to have a heavier knurl than even, say, something like this Rigid that I have. The rubber stops, so if we was to drop it, yes, we're drop testing. Because let's face it, how high off the ground would we really drop this thing? Let's see. If I was standing up and I was drilling something, if I had this hooked around my waist belt, I would say on average, you're probably going to end up dropping this drill from about 3 feet. Okay, it is extremely unrealistic to say that you're going to be at 10 or 20 feet high in the air. You might if you're on top of your roof and it happens to roll down the shingles and onto the ground. But for most at-home projects, you're probably going to be between 3 and 5 feet, especially if you're on a little tiny 4-foot step ladder. So let's go from 3 feet. And if I was drilling, and for whatever reason I wasn't paying attention, overall, seems to be pretty rugged and durable for what it is, okay? Again, an at-home drill drive kit. It seems to work and work and work. All right, let's talk about the light real quick. So the LED light does have a delayed pause, but it does stay on. So if you just wanted to lightly push the trigger to get the light to come on, it will engage the drill every time, but you will have a delayed light feature. Now with the Ryobi, same exact thing. Except for the light does not stay on, it's not delayed, it doesn't, but you still are engaging the actual drill in order to get that LED light to come on. With the Rigid, it has its own personal button down here that lights up the LED lights towards the front, so you don't have to have any kind of drill engagement. Now what kind of extra battery drain that has on it is unknown to me, but I can tell you it would be a nice feature to incorporate in their upcoming product lines should they decide to make any kind of an upgrade or adjustment. Another thing that I think would be kind of nice for WORKPRO to incorporate would definitely be to have some kind of keyed #2 Phillips, #2 flathead bit attachment towards the drill. Now, like I said, they do actually give you some drill bits as well as some driving bits, but I think overall I'd be pretty happy if they were able to incorporate some kind of a slot to put the most common #2 Phillips #2 flathead piece in that. So I mean, that's just what you're going to find with most any other drill company out there. Rigid has one on the back, Ryobi has one towards the front, as well as some other tool manufacturers out there, Makita, DeWalt, Milwaukee, etc. Now you do have 18 variable torque settings on this drill, as well as full drill mode, as well as 2 different variable speeds up top, which we'd already talked about, which is going to be pretty common when it comes to just about any drill driver that we're talking about here today. Seems to drill relatively quickly. I like that. Now the Ryobi at-home drill special here, they have 22 different variable speed settings, as well as a drill mode, as well as the top 2. So like I said, having 18 different variable speeds in a lower modeled platform is awesome. To have that many different torque adjustment settings for whatever it is that you're doing so you don't overdo something. Say if you were putting on one of these plastic covers, which I don't have one here, but I have one up here. So say if you were putting on a little plastic covering for your electrical outlet, you'd probably be on one of those lower settings. You wouldn't want to have this thing cranked all the way up to 18 or drill mode. So you'd probably use either 1 or 2 and then keep it on setting #1 so you're not overdoing it. Okay, bare tool only, Rigid, 2 variable speed hammer drill, $130. Now I did pick this up on a holiday special, which also came with a hex driver, 2 batteries, and 1 single battery charger for $99 at Home Depot. This is in the Ryobi platform. The WORKPRO has a higher amp hour battery than the Ryobi, moving Rigid completely out of the picture since it is not part of the DIY at-home drill drive kits that I feel like we can compare this to. Let's focus mostly on the breakdown between Ryobi and WORKPRO. So I did pick up this Ryobi drill drive kit for $99 that came with 2 batteries, the drill itself, and the hex driver. This drill, if we're comparing drill to drill, takes a 1/2 inch up to a 1/2 inch drill chuck instead of the 3/8 drive drill chuck that the WORKPRO Tools has. They both are made out of a heavier duty plastic, in my opinion. From a 3 to 4 foot drop, they both seem to hold up pretty well during that kind of a drop. Granted, we didn't drop it off a roof, but like I said, on average, I think you're looking at about 3 to 5 feet on average if you were going to drop it. Both of them clearly passed the drop test. Battery charge time, going to be about the same, okay? About 45 minutes between the two. WORKPRO has their single battery charger here that you get with their drill for $55. I think this is a hell of a bargain. Later down the road, it might be kind of nice to see them incorporate some kind of 4 battery charge station pack, maybe with a USB charger. I know that I picked one up for Ryobi specifically. Granted, this came at an additional cost, but it does up to 6 batteries plus has a USB charger. I think DeWalt has a 4 battery multi-port charge station. Milwaukee, I think they have 6, and then Rigid, I believe they do 2. They have up to 2. There is an off-brand for Makita. I didn't find Makita specifically making a 6 battery port station, but you can find this off-brand. You know what? I'm just going to put those links down below in the description for you guys, so if you want to check them out, you can. Okay, the delayed LED feature light on the WORKPRO drill. I like it, okay? Get a nice little delayed feature, gives you a couple seconds to look at something before you go drilling into it. Whereas with the Ryobi, you constantly got to pull the trigger back to get the LED light going on. And depending on how hard you squeeze, you're still putting that drill in action while you're trying to use the flashlight. Where with the WORKPRO, I barely squeeze it, light comes on. It doesn't turn the drill nearly as much as the Ryobi one does. The contractor belt hook, I like it, okay? It's definitely wider than the one on the Rigid, but again, comparing to Ryobi, Ryobi did not give me a belt clip. I like the belt clip. The belt clip works out well for me. I'm constantly hanging these things off my side of my pocket. I mean, I know they call it a belt loop, but I always just hang it from my pocket. I hang it from my belt from time to time, but I just find myself hanging it from my pocket a little bit more. I like the heavy knurled feature when it comes to sliding off the battery. I like the fast battery charge station, okay? Like I said, from about half-life takes about 20 minutes. Being down to the last cell takes about 45. So when they say that it charges within the hour, they are spot on when it comes to that. The variable speed, like that. The 18 different settings plus the drill, I like that, okay? Very, very likable. It's got some breathing room. This is a brushed motor, and I do believe that this Ryobi is also brushed as well. So you got 2 different brush platforms going side by side. So I think that's a pretty fair comparison overall. Like I said, you could pick this usually up for a screaming deal like I did during the Father's Day sales event. The things that we asked for that might come in the future products to be revealed at a later date would be to have some kind of Phillips or flathead clip incorporated onto the front. That would be kind of neat if they incorporated something like that too on the front or in the back like we saw with the Rigid platform. Overall, I like the ergonomics. I like the comfortable grip. The handle itself is a little bit thinner profile than the actual Ryobi itself. It might make it a little bit easier and more user-friendly for my females out there. Not saying that you guys don't use tools. I know that you do. I know my wife does, and I think that she can appreciate a comfortable hand grip that conforms to her hand. All right, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. Again, huge shout out and many thanks to today's sponsor, WORKPRO Tools, for providing us with the drill drive kit today to do a product review on. Look forward to seeing some of the newer products that you guys have in the development going into the next fiscal year. If you guys like today's video, make sure you smash a thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you'd like, share if you would like to. And again, make sure to check that description for any associated Amazon affiliate links that'll lead you to not only this drill drive kit, many other tools that WORKPRO offers, as well as possibly some coupons here in the near future. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers and deuces.